Now we are going to start ileostomy and colostomy. So what is ileostomy? It is the exteriorization of ileum to abdominal skin. And what is colostomy? It is exteriorization of colon to abdominal skin. So first see what is ileostomy. Ileostomy is exteriorization of ileum to abdominal skin. Exteriorization of ileum to abdominal skin. And what is colostomy? It is the exteriorization of colon to abdominal skin. What are the common indications of stoma formation or ileostomy and colostomy you have seen in surgery OTs and surgery ward? So the patients who are suffering from colorectal cancer, patients having chronic ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease, these are the common indications. So see the common indications of stoma formation. Common indications of stoma formation, right? So first is colorectal cancer, second is chronic ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Simple. Now see, there are two types of stoma. One is temporary stoma and one is permanent stoma. You have seen that generally this temporary stoma is for fecal diversion. Why? Because we have to protect a distal anastomosis. That's why we have to divert the fecal matter temporarily. And generally this is loop stoma. And what is end stoma? End stoma is usually permanent. Now let's discuss it with example. There are two types of stoma. One is temporary and the second is permanent. Clear? Temporary, we discussed that generally temporary stoma, it's the loop stoma. And why this loop stoma has been created? This has been created for fecal diversion. Why we want fecal diversion? Because we want to protect a distal anastomosis. See the example. Imagine a patient is having carcinoma sigmoid colon and we performed sigmoidectomy. After performing sigmoidectomy, we are going for colorectal anastomosis. To protect this colorectal anastomosis, I am going to create loop ileostomy. Clear? So this is temporary stoma, which is loop stoma for fecal diversion. Permanent stoma, generally these are end stoma. End stoma. Okay. Let's discuss it with one example. Imagine a patient is having carcinoma rectum. And for this carcinoma rectum, we are going to perform APR, full form abdominoperineal resection. So you removed rectum, you removed anal canal, you are left only with sigmoid and you have taken sigmoid in the left iliac fossa permanently. So this is end stoma and generally this is permanent. Clear? So these are the types of stoma, temporary and permanent. Now see what are the sites of stoma. See the sites. If you see ileostomy, generally this ileostomy is created in right iliac fossa. So we have to make ileostomy in right iliac fossa. Similarly, sigmoid colostomy, which is usually permanent if it's an end stoma, and this sigmoid colostomy, it's created in left iliac fossa. Transverse colostomy, generally this transverse colostomy is temporary and it is made, this transverse colostomy, it is made in right upper quadrant. Clear? So these are the sites of stoma. Now see what are the basic differences between ileostomy and colostomy. Whenever we are going to make ileostomy, you have seen in the wards that the ileostomy should be protruding from the skin surface. Protruding, that's why it is spouted. Why? Because the content or effluent is liquid. So if it is not spouted, what will happen? There is spillage of content and because of that patient will be having excoriation dermatitis. And colostomy is usually flush. Flush means it is at the level of skin. So it should not protrude from the skin. Why? Because in colostomy, the effluent is solid. You know that from fecal matter, water absorption occurs in the colon. Right? So that's why the content which is coming out from the colostomy, it is usually solid. So it is made flush. So what's the basic difference between ileostomy and colostomy, ileostomy and colostomy. Okay, so very important point that ileostomy should be spouted. Spouted means it is protruding from the skin surface. Why? Because here the effluent is liquid. Why? Because effluent is liquid. If it is not spouted, then there will be spillage of this liquid leading to excoriation dermatitis. Second problem, in ileostomy, since there is liquid effluent and there is increased output coming from the ileum as compared to colon, so that's why in ileostomy there is increased risk of dyselectrolytemia. Clear? So there is increased risk of dyselectrolytemia because the effluent is liquid and the content is more, the output is more as compared to colostomy. Colostomy, it is made flush, so it should not be protruding, and here the effluent is solid. Why it is solid? Because water absorption occurs in the colon. So this is the basic difference between ileostomy and colostomy. Now see what are the types of stoma. There are three types of stoma. One is end, one is loop, and third is double barrel, in which there are two separate stomas. How we are going to create these kind of stomas? See, now imagine this is the bowel. Okay, this is the bowel. So what happens if I'm going to divide the bowel? If it's ileum or colon, I'm going to divide. This is the proximal and this is the distal end. So what happens? I'm going to close this distal end, and this distal end is kept inside the abdomen. And what happened? I'm going to take out this proximal end. So this is end stoma. The distal end, which is closed, kept inside. Proximal end is taken out. This is end stoma. So if it's ileum, this is end ileostomy, and if it's colon, this is end colostomy. Now imagine a second situation in which the loop of bowel has been taken out. So see, this loop has been taken out. Now this loop is divided, not completely, partially. And what happens? Both ends are taken out. See, the stoma is attached, and when both ends are taken out, you can see that there are two external openings. These are joined together. So there are two external openings which are joined together. So this is what? Loop stoma. Loop of bowel has been taken out. It is being cut, and you can see there are two openings. What happens in double barrel stoma, double barrel ileostomy or colostomy? Whenever I'm going to divide this bowel and both of these ends are taken out via two separate openings. When both of these ends are taken out via two separate openings, you will notice that there is presence of skin bridge in between these two. This is known as double barrel. So there are two stomas. So these are the types of stoma. So what are the types of stoma? So you can see types. So first is end stoma, in which distal end is closed, kept inside, closed and kept inside abdomen. Okay, proximal end is taken out. So here you can see only one end, proximal end is taken out. Simple. You can see loop stoma. Second is loop stoma. So in loop stoma, the loop of bowel is taken out, loop is taken out, and it is cut before suturing. So loop is cut before suturing. Clear? So there are two external openings, but these are joined together. Two external openings which are joined together. Okay, and the third is double barrel. So there are two separate stoma. This is known as double barrel. Clear? So here there are two external openings, and so here there are two separate external openings with skin bridge in between. So here two separate openings okay, with skin bridge in between. So there is skin bridge in between. Clear? So these are the types of stoma: end stoma, loop stoma, and double barrel. Usually there is double barrel ileostomy. In NEET and AIMS, the most commonly asked question related to stoma is the stomal complications. And the stomal complications are of two types. If the complication is seen within 1 month of creating the stoma, and that is known as early complication, and if the complication is seen after 1 month of creation, that is late complication. So see the stomal complications. This is very important, asked almost every year. Stomal complications. So it is divided into two types. First, early complications. Early means within 1 month. Late means after 1 month. You have to remember the time period also. Early, it is seen within 1 month, and late, it is seen after 1 month. Clear? So whenever you are going to create the stoma, if you are not going to fix it properly, what happens? There is retraction. So it may retract. So there is retraction. There is abscess formation. The location should be proper. Okay, but sometimes what happens? There is poor location. It is in relation to some bony prominence, so it's very difficult to fix the stoma. It can lead to ischemia if the vascularity is compromised, and this ischemia can cause necrosis. Clear? There can be detachment, and because of effluent, liquid effluent, there can be dermatitis. So it can lead to detachment. There can be dermatitis. Okay. Sometimes it's very dangerous thing. Sometimes you have noticed that some resident is going to close the proximal end and going to open the distal end, and distal end has been taken out. Clear? So this is negligence. Okay. So what? Opening wrong end. Opening wrong end, and especially in ileostomy, the output is high. So there is high output. Output is high. These are the early complications. Okay. And how to remember? There is a mnemonic, and the mnemonic is rapid O. The mnemonic is rapid O. Retraction, abscess, poor location, ischemia or necrosis, detachment, dermatitis, opening wrong end, output high. So this is rapid O. Now see the late complications. Late complications are stenosis, prolapse, stenosis, prolapse. They can be parastomal hernia, parastomal hernia. There is gas, odor, and there can be obstruction. So gas, odor, and obstruction. Clear? Again, it's easy to remember because here also there is a mnemonic. And what's the mnemonic? The mnemonic is SPF GO. So it is SPF GO. Clear? So stenosis, prolapse, parastomal hernia, gas, odor, obstruction. These are the complications. Now see the one-liner questions which are favorite questions of AIMS people and NEET PG people. Now see, these are the two famous questions which are asked related to ileostomy. What is the most common early complication of ileostomy? And whenever we are making ileostomy, we are supposed to look at the color of ileostomy. It should be pink just after creating. If the vascularity is compromised, you have noticed that just after creation of ileostomy, the color changes from pink to dusky. And within short period of time, what? It is necrosed. Why? Because of ischemia. So most common early complication of ileostomy, that is ischemia or necrosis. And overall most common complication is because of effluent, which is liquid. Because of liquid effluent spillage, there is excoriation or dermatitis. So two important questions. First, what is the most common early complication? Most common early complication of ileostomy. Clear? And here you can see there is ischemia leading to necrosis. This is favorite question of AIMS. It was asked minimum 4 to 5 times. So it is ischemia. Sometimes they mention ischemia in the option, and sometimes they mention necrosis in the option. Clear? And the second question, here you can see there is dermatitis or excoriation of skin. You have seen these patients in the ward. So overall most common complication of ileostomy. Clear? And this is skin excoriation or dermatitis. So this is skin excoriation or dermatitis. Clear? So these are the one-liner questions related to ileostomy. Now see the one-liner questions related to colostomy. First, tell me what is the name of this complication. So can you see in this parastomal region, parastomal means around stoma, what happens? You can notice there is hernia. Can you see? Around parastomal region means around stoma, can you see there is herniation of bowel. So this is known as parastomal hernia. And if you are talking about end colostomy or loop colostomy, in both of these the most common complication is parastomal hernia. So first one-liner question, that what is the most common complication of both end and loop colostomy, and the most common complication of both end and loop colostomy, it's the parastomal hernia. This is parastomal hernia. Okay, there is another complication, that is prolapse. So here you can see that there is prolapse of stoma. Clear? So now we have to compare the end colostomy and loop colostomy. So if you see loop colostomy, the opening is larger in loop colostomy, and if the opening is larger, the opening which is made in abdominal skin, so it is larger, so there are increased chances of prolapse. So the risk of prolapse is higher in loop colostomy. And if we see end colostomy, in end colostomy, the dissection around stoma is extensive. So in comparison to loop colostomy, there is extensive dissection performed around stomal opening in end colostomy. And because of this, there is increased risk of parastomal hernia. So prolapse, it is more common in, this is prolapse. Prolapse, it is more common in loop colostomy. Why? Because there is larger opening. And this is parastomal hernia. Parastomal hernia, it is more common in end colostomy. Parastomal hernia, this is more common in end colostomy. Why? Because of extensive dissection. So this is all about ileostomy and colostomy.